and some of the races have been dominated. Here we go then, the whistle blows. Mini X30, the final race for the class of the day. It's qualifying heat B and D. Jesse Phillips starts it on pole position. Will Green alongside. Franciacorta and Romeo Mello go from row 2. Zach Zhu and Noah Grenier round out row number 3. Eduardo Godfroy and Archie Lovett, the championship leader, starts this one on row number 4. Maxim Bobajov and Austin Newstead go from row 5. Didier Kieft and David Minchuna round out row number 6.
Row number 7, Ari Williams and Ioannis Kolosov. Then we have Lino Pedraza and Sebastian Riedel, Ludwig Brankist and Theo Policon, row number 9. Row number 10, Bruno Grilling and Tony Cacciafero. Row number 11, Matis Bagreo and Alexandros Iliopoulos. 22 drivers on the grid. Do we have everybody? Yes, we do. As the wind has been picking up, now 12 km an hour, still flying around our heads here in Franciacorta, with air temperature rising up to 27 degrees, and I can confirm to you that it's still very hot down in Parc Fermé, but we'll manage up until the end to give you guys as many inside interviews with the latest protagonist of this class and the next, because Jesse Phillips is on track and is likely to be, as it stands with the points, the overall leader of the classification, and Paul Sitter in one of the 2 superheats. We try to grab a word with Jesse Phillips and the next senior protagonist just after that.
One thing I'm very thankful for, and I'll thank the circuit owner and the staff here at Franciacorta for the lovely little air conditioning unit that is inside this commentary box. It has certainly made the day a little bit more tolerable, because it can get quite warm with all the hot air that we breathe out in these commentary boxes, So, yeah, it certainly is a lovely day out there, though, but would love to be outside working in that sunshine. It looks absolutely fabulous out there. Here we go then, past the red line they go. And we are going to get this race underway in just a moment's time. Rest of the grid pretty separated, only the top 5 in shot there. There's the rest of them as they all try to snake their way into formation. They're going to have to get that sorted out relatively quickly. They're pretty spread out. Round the final corner they go then, into the tram lines. Lights go out. Here they go. Down towards turn 1. Great start from Phillips. All he needs to do now is maintain that position. Is he going to maintain it? Because I thought down the inside, Franciacorta was going to have the move. Bit of contact in the back of it. Several carts involved. The 940 being one of them. That's Lino Pedraza, who has come together with another 2 drivers. They've gone to the back of the grid now. One driver going very slowly there, the 927 going slowly. That's Eduardo Godfroy, not having the full chat out of the corner he would like. Side by side and cutting back across. There's Will Green just trying to find his track position, nearly colliding with other drivers, but the rest of the grid all get through the first few corners unscathed.
And yeah, it was almost for Eduardo Godfroy, who was pushed a little bit on the side there.
Oh, and there's a cart off, sorry, just off screen. Someone's gone backwards and right to the back of the field. I'll try update who that is. Down the inside, though, change for the lead.
And seem to be missing Archie Lovett, actually, and David Mikunan.
I said that was for the lead. I thought that was for the lead. No, that was actually the battle for 3rd place, because Phillips and Zhu have just disappeared from the rest of the field. Who's dropped down?
We've just lost Archie Lovett.
We have.
What a disaster that is. He's the leader of the mini class, coming to Franciacorta, winner of round 1 and 2. And you can see down in 22nd position, Archie Lovett is nowhere to be seen. What on earth happened there?
Well, I think that was out of turn number 12. It wasn't on your screens, but I was just looking out the window here while you were talking, and I could just see a plume of dust that kicked up and someone being squeezed onto the grass there. So I think that potentially may have happened there, which is a big shame for the championship leader going into the second half of the season here at Franciacorta. But unfortunately, his weekend's not going his way. Hopefully he can recover tomorrow in the superheats and finals. Here we go then, end of lap number 2. We're going to lap 3. Phillips still leads, and Zach Zhu, brilliant start for this one. He's in P2, certainly latching onto the back of Phillips here.
There you go. We had him at the microphone earlier. He did a beautiful P5 as one of his strongest results, but look at him go with the Alonso car chassis and harassing Jesse Phillips as he was able to make his way past, climbing through 3 places up into P2, and it's not over yet. He's looking good. So Zach Zhu, the Frenchman, at Jesse Phillips now. All he needs to do is to stay where he is. Maxim Dobrashov, who is down in P3 overall, is on track now. Maxim Dobrashov, where is he actually in the classification? I'm gonna find him in a moment, and I can't. He's in P3. My apologies. Yeah. All right. I was
He's
looking
right
away.
there.
He's right there indeed. This is the moment when you feel like this has been a long day for everybody, including us. But Maxim Dobrashov is indeed in third place. As let's watch back the replay, shall we? And on the inside, Jesse Phillips protecting his line. And you could see the good start from further back from 1991, Franciacorta.
You could see the big skid mark there that was left. Look at the cut. So it was actually contact with the Falcon there. So I'm thinking that was Ludwig Granqvist, the 960, that was also caught up in that. It was. And one of the Fusions, the 939, that was also involved. That was Tony Cacciaferro, also involved. There is Love It that we miss. And yet, as soon as he's on the ground, it's quite rough out there. You can imagine maybe even still possibly just that little bit wet out there as well. There was a lot of rain last night. You know, it's been a hot day though, so I suspect it's probably dry, but still not what you want to see at the start of, especially on the opening lap.
Yeah, maybe some tiny standing part of the track on the opposite, but we've seen that in the past after some heavy rain. There's some configuration in some of the karting tracks all over Europe when you can see standing water in some of the holes by the track. Here it seems to be fairly flat around the circuit, so I don't see any standing water or risk of drivers going off and getting washed up over there. But so it seems to be pretty dry, but still that's a lot of dirt and grass on your tires, and that's we've seen Archie Lovat he's still with us on track, but dead last unfortunately for the driver for Oliver Roland Motorsport, and he's going to have a hard time trying to catch up.
Will Green under investigation as well. The driver who started this one on the front row in P2 certainly is under pressure here because he's currently in P5 now.
And look who's taking the lead.
Oh, yes.
Maxim Dobrashov. And now, not only does he take the lead, closing into the checkered flag, but he's now P2 overall in the classification, which means that if it stays like that, he will get to start on pole position for one of the superheats tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. He was P2 at the start of this race. Nothing's actually changed in terms of points, despite the fact that he's leading the race. Obviously, it's still 0 points because he didn't gain anything. Tony Cacciaferro with the fastest lap of the race. And here is a replay of that overtake. Just down in towards turn 14. Nice little bit of a slipstream. Through goes Bobajov. Through goes Phillips. Zoo back down into third place. So good little drive there. Zach's staying with them though. Bobajov and Phillips absolutely line astern. Phillips is the one here that really needs to make sure that he stays in first place, because any points that he loses here could potentially hinder his where he starts for the races tomorrow. At the moment, he's still got the 2 race points now that he's leading this way, and we are on the last lap as well. So if Phillips can maintain this one, he'll be all good. He goes defensive in towards turn number 5. Zach Zhu then dives it down the inside and gets that one done. Gets past both of them. Gets past Bobajov as well. So Zach Zhu, what a overtake that was. 2 in 1. And he's going to hold on to this one. He's not going to allow Bobajov to get that move done into the hairpin like he did last time. He's already learnt that. Bobajov's already shown his cards, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic performance from Zach Zhu. Is certainly the last names that we had expected coming to the end of the race. End of the day to pick up possibly a win. He's going defensive. Watch out for Jesse Phillips and the touch. Watch out not to get together and put that result in the bin. But Zach Zhu stays in the lead. Jesse Phillips rushed himself into P2, and that will be the end of it. Jesse Phillips in second place takes pole for Superheat A. And there's a change indeed in the classification. That's an important one, because Maxim Dobrashov on his way potentially to win that one, to get pole. It won't be the case, because he goes from second to P4 overall to Sayer, and Zach Zhu put himself on the front row on the Superheat A of the class tomorrow, thanks to that win and that performance. Wow.
Yes, indeed. Crucially, though, Bobajov, he may drop down to P4, but that also means that he starts on the front row for the B final, or the Superheat B tomorrow as well. So It's not the end of the world then for the top 4 drivers, but Zach Zhu will take the race win in this one for the KBK competition team. The driver from France, a brilliant result for him. First win of the weekend. We've certainly had a fair few winners over the course of this weekend. Certainly Franciacorta giving us some good racing. So Zhu takes the win from Phillips. Noah Grenier, after gaining 3 positions, finishes in P3 from Maxim Bobajov, who did gain 5 positions. Unfortunately, drops down to P4 in the intermediate classifications, but still a solid day's work for the driver from the UAE for the GDM Motorsport team. Will Green finishes in P5, but he is under investigation, potentially for a start infringement. Franciacorta finishes in P6. Diapolican, after gaining 11 positions, finishes in P7. Same as Tony Cacciaferro, who gained 12 positions. He was a driver that was involved in that incident at the start of the race. He got all the way up into P8. Edouard Godefroy then rounds out P9. Austin Newstead finishes in P10, rounding out the top 10. There is Zach Zhu being congratulated there by Guillaume Alvarez, who's already down in Parc Fermé. Guillaume got down there quickly. He's got some legs on him. Harry Williams then finishes in P11 after gaining 2 positions from Maria Mello. Devin Minchuna and Didier Kvift finishing in P14. Lina Pedraza finishes in the top 15, not losing or gaining any positions. There is Zach Zhu and family. There we go, sorted that out. Lovely to see that. Brilliant result for the driver for the KBK competition team from France. Here's a look then at some of the highlights of that race. Initially, good start from that inside row. Phillips, Kördel and Zhu getting away first, second and third. Will Green just jumping into 3rd place. That's where we saw a couple of our drivers just getting involved in that incident at the start. That was Cacciaferro, one of them. Grand Chris, the other. And another one as well. Archie Lovett in the latter stages of the race would then come off the track there. It was actually side-by-side contact there with Francois Kördel out of turn number 12. I just think he ran out of track there. This was the moment Bobajov would go for 3rd place as he was trying to get through the field. We thought it was the race lead, but the race leaders were miles down the road. This was the moment Zach Zhu took the lead at one part of the race. Bobajov would then close in and then go for 2nd place. Phillips would drop down and potentially put his starting place for tomorrow under pressure. Bobajov would go for the lead. Phillips would go through as well. That's a slipstream effect in Mini X30 kicking in perfectly there for those two. Zhu being left under pressure and dropping back down into 3rd. Phillips would retake the lead at the about halfway mark. Then on the final lap, this is the fantastic overtake from Zach Zhu in towards turn number 5 and just sends it down the inside. And then going into the final corner, wait for it, here comes Jesse Phillips down the inside to try and retake 2nd place, and successfully does so in the closing rate there. Almost a bit of contact there as well with Zach Zhu as they exit out of the corner. But out of the final corner would come the French driver Zach Zhu, crossing the line to take his first win of the weekend for the KBK competition team. In the treble 9, Zach Zhu takes the win from Jesse Phillips and Noah Grenier. Maxim Bobajov then